Hey everybody, it's me. I'm back. I skipped one yesterday, and that's something I want to talk about a little bit. But as you can see behind me, it is the golden hour, and it's time to get back in touch with you guys. Today, I am in what I call the third green of the Apalachicola National Forest. If you can look behind me, you will see this is a lovely little clearing in the woods. There are 3 of them, hence this is the third green. And there's a big old tree right there, which kind of marks the space behind me. Anyway, I am going to do a little bit of meditation first to clear my head and to stall a little bit because I have some really important stuff for today that I'm a little nervous and scared to talk about. So that should be really exciting. I will do a bit of meditation and get back in touch with you very shortly. Thanks for coming to the Golden Hour with Joe Neely. Well, folks, here I am. I really like that big tree that I showed you sticking out of my head in all different directions. I think that's a pretty cool shot. Anyway, I've done a little bit of meditation, and though I'd like to say that I experienced nirvana and had complete bliss, I was a little scatterbrained. That's mostly because there's something I need to talk with you about today. But first, I gotta get this thing out of my eyebrow. Oh my god, do you see it? For some reason, that was catching the light and distracting the heck out of me. Anyway, I want to tell you about me. I want to tell you about why I've started this show, I guess it is. It's an extension of my true purpose. It's an extension of what I like most about life and what I would most like to do with however much life I have left. It's about a gift that I have, an ability that I have that has arisen at times throughout my life. It goes beyond the things I mentioned in the last episode. It goes beyond meditation and yoga and health food and travel, entrepreneurship, sacred sexuality. It goes beyond all that stuff. I say sacred sexuality last because what I do is linked to that, though not innately sexual. The gift that I have is triggered by the attraction that you have with an intimate partner. I don't feel that I could have it with someone I wasn't attracted to. That being said, in my experience, it has little or nothing to do with sex. I've had these experiences with people who I later had sex with. I had experiences with people after sex, but never during. What I'm talking about is a certain kind of love, a certain kind of intimacy that happens in some, but certainly not all, romantic and sexual relationships. My exploration with you of the golden hour will be about a lot of different things. I have a lot of interests, and different things excite me from day to day. But I want you all to know that the most important thing I've experienced in my life is these moments. Some of them have involved powerful visuals of bright white lights. Some of them have certainly involved lots of laughter and maybe affection, a little bit of hand-holding. I find when people get into these extreme states of love, a large amount of physical intimacy is too overwhelming. It's as if a little bit goes a really long way. And though the most recent one of these experiences was triggered through some kissing, I've never needed it to go past that. Other ones, just simple hand holding, or heck, there was one experience I had where I was barely even touching the person. We were just talking and looking into each other's eyes. So, what I'm exploring is this angle. Some of what I may talk about may get into the spiritual realm. You should know I'm agnostic about that, but I explore it very, very diligently as an agnostic person who doesn't know if it's true or false, but would certainly like to find out. I may also get into some of the scientific aspects of my journey of what happens with people when they have eye contact with each other, what happens with people when they connect on the deepest level. I certainly have some scientific and spiritual speculations that I could share with you, and if any of you have experienced your lovers as light or have had other experiences that break the bounds of what we consider reality, I would certainly like to hear from you in the comments to this video. One thing I hope to do, in addition to letting you observe my exploration, is to create a community of other explorers. I don't know that anyone in our culture truly understands this. I know that some teachers talk about this, some tantric teachers, both modern and more ancient, will talk about this stuff, though I don't know that what I've experienced or what I'm going to experience with future partners is specifically Tantra or Kundalini Yoga, though I think those are wonderful areas for us to explore together. So, this is the golden hour. It is about enjoying life. It's about meditation and spirituality and yoga and all those basic, everyday, health food and herbs and incense burning kind of things that we do for do-it-yourself spirituality. But it's about more than that. It's about me connecting with you in order to experience my highest calling, in order to bring it into reality. And I want all of you to know from the very beginning that that is my quest. I want to facilitate communities that talk about this. I want to help people learn to be more intimate with their partners. And I want to create in my life, and hopefully in all of yours, many opportunities to pierce the veil of reality, as they say, and find out what's really going on here in the funnest way possible. I can't imagine a better way to connect with the divine than through the people that we love, intimately, romantically. So, that's what you're going to get. Stay tuned to this channel. I'm going to do some more meditating today and some more yoga, and I'll give you some tips and all that. But remember, that's where we're headed. We're headed all the way in to the deepest, most fascinating mysteries of life and the most accessible kind of love that we can all share, which is, the ubiquitous, romantic, and physical, chemical, sexual love that triggers something much, much more. Much more than just simple bonding. Much more than just simple, couples having a long-term relationship after the fire dies. It's something completely beyond that, and it's very, very special. I think in a perfect world, it's something that we all could share with each other. Turn off our TVs, sit looking at each other for a change, and enjoy the light in each other's eyes as it becomes the only thing that is. And then, of course, turn back on the TV and cuddle and have a normal time. I don't want to imply that, a normal TV night is undesirable. I just think that we can have something even better in conjunction with it. So, if you're along for the ride, stay tuned. There's a lot more where this came from. I'm Joe Neely, and this is The Golden Hour. All right, I'm back. That's a fascinating view. Look at that. Here I am. I have just tried out two different types of sexual awareness meditation. One I learned from my dear friends, the volcanoes, who I'm sure you'll hear more about. And they helped me understand that you can get in touch with your pelvic region, the area of your genitals, and the area of the bowl inside your hips. And I learned a little bit there, and I've, been doing a bit. But I've found that that is very difficult for me. The technique is to breathe into that area and to feel that area. I can feel sometimes the expansion of my breath all the way down into my nether regions. But usually I can't quite reach my body awareness that far. I do find that when I'm lying down, as I am in this picture, that I have much more success. I can feel with my body awareness much, much more of what's really going on within all of my lower intestines and organs and sexual organs and muscles and hip flexors and all these things. I don't know. There's a lot of anatomy I still have to learn. But the point is, the best way to do this exercise is to put your hand on your belly, or both of them. I was using both of my thumbs, just kind of touching the tips of my thumbs together over my belly. But what you can do is put your hand on your belly and feel it change shape. And then as you go, move it down a bit. See if you can still feel your belly moving. So once you get below your belly button, your hand won't raise as much as it would if it were right over your solar plexus. For those of you who don't know, the solar plexus is just where the bottom of the rib cage ends, above your belly button and below the bottom edge of your rib cage. Anyway, that area, of course, you expand a lot when you breathe. But as you're reaching your hand lower and lower below your belly button, I'm down to where my thumb is now even with the top point of my hip. If you're familiar with the hip points that you have on the front of your body. And I could still very easily feel myself, expanding and contracting. So yay, body awareness. And now I'm moving down even lower. This is to where just above the pelvic bone. And at about that point, it's hard for me to physically feel the inhalation and exhalation on the front of my body. However, if I place my awareness deeper, if I place my awareness below my pelvic bone, somewhat underneath it, deep within the bowl of my hips, near the place where it starts to funnel out the anus, with my imagination, I'm not touching it with my hand. When you get to those places, as you breathe in and out, you can still feel the different muscles in there and the different organs in there moving, expanding, contracting. Though I find I have to breathe a certain way. I have to really think about how I'm breathing deeply into that area, in addition to being very aware, very sensitive to the proprioception I'm experiencing. For those of you who don't know, proprioception is our experience of ourself, our sense of touch, not on the surface of our skin, but inside our body, where we feel our body change and move as we adopt different poses. If you put your arm up in the air, you would know it was up in the air without having to look at it. You can feel that different muscles are expanded and contracted to get your arm up in the air than if you were, waving it around or letting it dangle by your side or something. So that's proprioception. That's us feeling our inner sense of our body, of ourself. And it can help us connect to our true self in a lot of ways. There are even medical studies that will talk about proprioception as helping our sense of self. When people give each other massages and people feel the different sensations of their body being manipulated by someone else, so they're not creating themselves, it really gives them a sense of where their body ends and the world begins, of, their physical sense of self and the emotional sense of self that is kind of mapped on top of that. So, as we are exploring both the meditation and yoga aspects of our own bodies and our own intimate sexual systems, do that. Breathe into your deepest parts, however deep they may be. I think for everybody those are in a different place. I think for some of us, simply not breathing in our chest would be something special. For some of us, maybe we could breathe all the way down into the center of the earth while we are sitting upon it. I think everyone has a different level of awareness. But for me, I will be practicing breathing down into my lower intestines, my digestive system, my sexual system, and making better friends with that area. Our culture teaches us not to like things that are in that area, the sexual things, the digestive and excretory systems. So I think it is well nigh time that we release the emotions that we've stuffed down there by tensing those muscles and through the weird mind games that we all play with our emotions. So do yourself a favor and breathe into those areas throughout your daily life, and let me know this week. Let me know as you experience this, over a few days or a week or however long you get into it. Do you feel yourself responding differently? Do you feel your emotions responding differently? Do you find your attitudes towards sex, excretion, digestion, even your kidneys and livers, cleaning your body out? Do you find those attitudes changing? Do you find that you attract or repel other people? Oh, if you see me blowing, that's just me trying to get the mosquitoes to go away without killing them. Anyway, come on, buddy. Anyway, try that. See how other people respond when you're more connected with your sexuality. See what changes in yourself and the world around you. And we will be in touch again very soon. I hope to explore tomorrow's golden hour with you in another wonderful location. And I will sit up and let you see that tree again. So here goes the camera. There it is. I love the backgrounds. And here I am in the third green of the Apalachicola National Forest here in lovely Tallahassee, Florida. I think we're just outside the city limits, but it's Tallahassee enough for me. So thank you everybody for listening, and take a moment whenever you remember to throughout your day to count your 10 breaths, as I mentioned yesterday, and take a special moment inside some of your very vulnerable and taboo parts of yourself, which are just equally as good a part of yourself as any other. Do whatever you can to soothe that region, and I'm sure you'll reap many rewards. I could already feel my digestion improving. So y'all, have a great day, and I hope to see you again tomorrow night. Bye-bye. This is Joe Neely with The Golden Hour.